What you have just viewed, the short playlist, is just telling you the plight of a widow. First, I have a passion for widows, then orphans. Maybe it's my childhood experience and the experience of my mother as a widow when my father died.
Our main problem here is the problem of the means.
The parents are the ones that are people with special needs. The children are normal children. So why should they suffer as a result of the deficiency of their parents? So I discussed with the parents, and they said, if we don't beg, how can we sustain the family? So I said, okay, why not, if we empower these children now, instead of transferring generational, poverty and whatever nuisance in the society, let's try to see if we can now break the chain of that poverty they are just transferring from one generation to the other. So if we educate these children, somehow they will be different from their parents, being educated as a female. People thought it was a waste of resources. So it was between me and my performance. My dad is such a person that if you don't perform, then it means you just leave school. So I wanted to show him that, yes, I can do it.
I was 10 years old when I first got into secondary school, my first year in secondary school. And that was, when I started having issues with my joints. I was diagnosed then to have juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, JRA for short.
I graduated from Federal Government Girls College in June 1982, but it was in October 1992 that I went to University of Calabar.
After my university education at the University of Lagos, I got posted to Kaduna to come and do my youth service.
So I was lecturing in the English Department of Academic College of Education before I got the Ford Foundation Fellowship.
A friend of ours at work, a colleague, came in and was like, oh, Ford Foundation scholarship is out, the forms are out, whoever is interested should go to the Pathfinder office in Kaduna and get the forms.
When I applied for the IFP, I never thought that maybe I found myself as one of the candidates, one of the fellows.
So they wrote to me and sent the letter by courier inviting me for interview. By then I was hospitalized. I had a surgery. I told the doctor, you have to discharge me. He said, but we've not removed the stitches. I said, but I have something it's my life. And the devil doesn't want me to get it. But I didn't tell him what. So he discharged me.
Looking back in my early years, who thought that somebody like me who ever leave the shores of Nigeria and even crossing over to go to another country to read?
Even before the journey, during the orientation, my life changed.
It was like, now God has answered my prayers.
What came to me as a challenge was to leave my family. My wife then had a pregnancy, and with the expected day of delivery of the month, I left her.
After I arrived at Ohio University, I had the right facilities to function in, right from my dormitory or right from my apartment in school, everything had me in mind with the planning.
The relaxed conditions were there. There was somebody paying for my meals. So I don't need to struggle to eat, because Ford was taking care, your living allowance, they pay upfront.
In fact, I didn't have so much problem per se because everything is available.
The only business I had was to make sure I study and then pass at that stipulated time.
I did my PhD on forensic linguistics. My master's was on police accused discourse.
I went to University of London, Institute of Education in central London. And what I did was a quality evaluation of the national policy on education at the pre-primary level in Plateau State.
I studied MA Digital Technologies, Communication and Education at the University of Manchester.
The course that I studied is gender analysis in international development.
I did a lot of courses, and I specialized in public health communication. So communicating health issues for children, for women, for everybody.
They organize international workshops for us to attend where we can get additional knowledge and certificate.
The very, very memorable moment to me during the period was, the ability to obtain a master's degree, which I never thought of.
I had a master's in extension for natural resource-based livelihood. The way widows are treated in our own parts of the world, very frustrating. The female, they will sell them off very in the name of marriage. Culturally, women here don't own land. I set the structures up. I got land. One of my uncles stood by me, gave me land. Then the community, I called them together. This is what I want to do. They all agreed. Plus the clan head, the chiefs, they just supported. I chose the name Abambake Development Association. So I started conferences at the playground. Then when I started, 3 months after, I now wrote a first report to Village 8. I'm back into the country. I've settled in. Like I told you, I was going to start up a project, and this is what I'm doing. And they were really became very interested, and then released the first batch of money. The total money from 2007 that was paid to me, given to me to do the project, £3,500.
When Sister Agnes come from outside, she says she wants to help widows and orphans. So we run to her. She even group us also. Then as she group us, she help us with money. It is from her we know how to store dry things.
My course of study was informed by the fact that we don't have enough research in early childhood education. So I initiated the enrollment of schools, of children of the handicapped people. My own aim is to give quality education to those that we think cannot have access to that. So I initiated the enrollment of schools, of children of the handicapped people. So we collaborated with a missionary organization, Center for Renewal. They provided pencils, writing materials, and then 2 volunteer teachers. Then I went to the local government and solicited for space close to the community. So they gave us Islamia school, and they gave us 2 classrooms, and then 3 special education teachers. So we went to the community, and then we sat with them, and we negotiated with them. They accepted to give us their own children in the afternoon while they begged for money.
Who wants to be a lawyer? Who wants to be an engineer?
I faced challenges in growing up, and I now make up my mind with my husband to help other women who couldn't make it at the initial stage to come back and make up those years that they have missed by coming to our care NGO and learn how to read and write, which will help them to get something doing. Even if they cannot even get something doing, at least reading and writing is an empowerment.
People do not like to sharp their tools. They will be using it like that. If you are using your tools like that without sharpening it, it will not give you the best.
I'm currently, avail myself to education and the capacity building programs for the benefit of the young ones, especially people with disabilities.
He did a lot. He was the one that established the HIV classes, where he was giving lectures about the staff and the trainees.
Truly, I want to appreciate him in motivating me emotionally, spiritually, physically, even financially, and backing me in my academic.
Being on radio, I had the platform to actually plan and create programs that would reach a lot of people, millions of people at a time.
In fact, I discovered that with all the skills I've acquired over there, I was being sought out all over the places. Like when I arrived back in Nigeria, I was given a job at Obafemi, the great Obafemi Awolowo University. Right now at Academy, I'm at the peak.
IFP is different from other ones because they actually look deep. IFP look deep in selecting their fellows.
For starters, it's a very transparent process. You don't have to know anybody. It's even better for you not to know anybody.
The fellowship was able to make me understand that the sky is not a limit for people with disabilities.
So IFP is a scholarship that sees to the growth of the society.
Continuity and network is what I think makes IFP stand out from other fellowships.
I'm empowered, I'm emboldened, I feel that with God on my side, I can do anything.
My dream has been fulfilled.